Um, if you're a follower of mine, this is not what I normally make videos on, but today I'm here to teach you about depression and emotional disorder. So, the goal for today is to allow you guys to have a better understanding of depression, as well as teaching strategies to assist children through their depression. Depression affects students in many ways, often different ways. Although some students who are depressed might be feeling the same way, but they might go about exercising those feelings in different ways. Depression is often referred to as the silent killer, and today you will learn the different ways that it can affect how a student learns. It's very serious, and if treated, it's very manageable, and when left untreated, it can get out of hand. So, depression is defined by the IDEA as a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and a loss of interest, also called major depressive disorder or clinical depression. It affects how you feel, think, and behave, and can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems. And what this means is if you're a student and you say love math or love science, oftentimes it will look as though you just stop caring for a while, because you just lose interest in what you enjoy. There are various ways you can tell if a child's depressed. Now, these are not for all children, but oftentimes a child who's depressed, they lose interest. If they like soccer, they just randomly stop liking soccer. That's a telltale sign. Oftentimes, they can be easily irritated. Oftentimes, like the small things, they'll irritate them, and it can often affect how they are in school. Sometimes a student who's depressed will skip school because they just don't feel like getting out of bed, and it's completely normal for a student who's depressed. Now, it doesn't mean that it's the right thing for them to do, but it does happen. They'll often isolate themselves from others. If they're the life of the party, maybe one day they just stop and they start kind of doing stuff by themselves, and it might not be in their character. Oftentimes it will, if they seem to be eating a lot or eating nothing, next to nothing, if they start sleeping an excessive amount or only getting a couple hours a night, they will often have bouts of self-destruction, which includes insulting themselves, calling them dumb, saying they hate themselves. And there are many, many other ways to tell if a child's depressed. Not all children are the same, but these are some telltale signs. So, you have environmental causes and you also have genetic causes when it comes to depression. And from and Cyber, Mays, and Eves had stated that to establish a baseline from decomposing the intergenerational association between parental depression and contact problems in the children, the correlations both within and across generations for each behavior were estimated for MZ and DZ twins using the Sauce Institute. And these tests were conducted by twins, and this allows us to show the correlation between not only the parents and the children, but also between siblings, and where the genetics can maybe skip the parent, but it does go to both siblings or more than two siblings. Environmental causes or causes that happen around them, and it can include, but is not limited to, bullying, poverty, or obesity. Studies have shown that children who fall into these three categories often find themselves to be depressed more often than not. Treatments. You can treat a child through their depression using various ways. Medication is the first way, and this is often determined by their healthcare provider. As teachers, we're not equipped to decide what medications can work for a child. However, we can help with the therapy sessions, and cognitive behavior therapy is often with the children, allowing the children to learn about their depression, but we can also teach them various skills to help manage their physical symptoms, negative thoughts, and problem behaviors. The other type of therapy is family therapy, and the reason that this works is studies show that children will often feel more supported and safe if their family supports them and attends therapy with them as a group. Now, today I talked about the things that can cause a child to be depressed. I've gone through some treatment methods in a method that teachers can assist with to the best of their ability. And in the end, depression, it will often be in a child that you teach. And it's an emotional disorder that is treatable, but can provide many difficulties to the child's life. And the support of others are the biggest help to get the child back on track to be the best that they can be. And those are my references. I hope that this PowerPoint this Google Slides has assisted your knowledge in learning about depression. And I hope that it wants you to learn more.